Good good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Saturday Rewards Ripple Solutions update and Q&A. Remember, today is all about Q&A, getting your questions answered. So folks, if you got any questions, start putting them into the chat box so that we can answer them. Otherwise, this call will be a very quick call today because we are not at the stage of pushing anything live, so we don't have a lot going on. So quickly give you an update for those joining the call. My name is David Cutler. I'm head of Team Posi Cash, and I'm doing the tech side for Rewards Ripple as it ties together with one of our other programs. On the tech side with the company, we are at a stage where we are going through a long drawn out process with code at the moment that we got to get ready for the intellectual property protection. So in a quick scenario, we had made a decision last week or the week before, and we announced it last week, that we were going to go forward and protect all of our code. For those of you that are aware of what IP stands for, intellectual property, basically it's very similar to what a patent is. A patent is when you design something, you file that patent. If anybody goes out and duplicates that patent, you have a right to sue them or to stop them in business using your idea, your concept. Intellectual property is what's used in technology or in concepts. Excuse me. And due to the fact that we've got something unique, because of a couple of previous phone calls we've had with some very large corporations, where one individual on one of those calls literally turned around and said, "Oh, we should do this ourselves," while I listened to it. After sharing that with the team, it was a very quick decision to move forward and make sure that we have everything protected. Now, there's a problem with that. We've hired an attorney out of South Florida, out of Broward County, Fort Lauderdale, to go forward on the IP, intellectual property. Well, unfortunately, you have to file your code with that filing because you're protecting it. So we're at the stage right now on kind of going backwards instead of going forwards. And what I mean by that, at least I'm telling you up front, we were working on 6 separate games all at once. The first thing we've been doing is working on this new email program that gives you all the preference. You have to remember there are going to be hundreds, if not tens of hundreds of people able to get different points, whether it's from going on a cruise or playing in a game or going to help out people. You're going to get points. We wanted to make sure that we had an email program that you could set as your preference what you got notified about. So we've designed our own email platform, which we've been doing for about the last 6 weeks now, which is now up and being tested, where you're able to go in and pick your preferences. Then the next step is to fall into the games, which was going to be the fight. Now, I am going to bring on Mr. Jim Wagner because we had this discussion yesterday, so we can tell you what's going on about the fight. Because, I'm a strong believer. I think most of you know that by now. And God does things in strange ways that we'll never, ever understand. I think everybody would agree with that. And here we are, had a deadline date that it had to be July 20th. Actually, July 1st was really our deadline date for the Mike Tyson fight and the Jake Paul. That was going to be important because that was going to be signing up a bunch of people. Well, Jim, would you like to come on the call here with me? I'll bring you in here, add you in. There you go. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, thank you. Would you like to explain to people what you shared with me yesterday, what's going on with Mr. Tyson?
Yeah, he had an ulcer situation, and the doctor said, "Hey, you need to quit training for a while because you make that situation worse." And as a result, they had to postpone the fight. But I heard last night that it has now been rescheduled for November. I don't know the exact date in November, but it is rescheduled for November, which is a blessing, like we talked yesterday, because it'll give us much more time now to get our everything together so that we are fully ready for that fight when it comes up and we can do a bang up job with it.
Yeah, I think I'm looking right now to check, but I think I heard the date November the 15th, Jim.
I think, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So guys, what we're trying to say here is very nicely that we have got delayed because of this intellectual property. Our big fear issue was missing out the opportunity to the fight. We knew through the promoter that was already gone forward and worked out a deal with us, that we would lose out potentially millions. I mean, literally millions of potential signups. And here we are talking to attorneys last week, and this week Mike Tyson gets a ulcer in his stomach or something, and the doctors said that you got to get off, you got to delay the fight. So you talk about, how I mean, look, you can take it any way you want to take it, ladies and gentlemen, but I know I'm reading it that God's looking out for us and has postponed that, so we're able to get our code written. I know that sounds a little crazy, Jim. What's your thoughts?
Well, I totally agree. This is a crucial area where we're at, and you're right. The projected number of people that are going to watch that fight is amazing. It's in the multiple millions. And
well, you know what I heard on the news, and I meant to tell you this. They now believe it's going to be around 125 million people around the world. 125 million people are going to watch this fight. Could you imagine? It'd be great to get 50%, but if you got 10%, or even if you only got 1%, you're talking about signing up 1 million people over a period of a 12-round fight, if it goes 12 rounds.
Right, and I would assume that we can probably get a lot of people signed up even before the fight begins, because we can throw some things out there. And I mean, the opportunity is amazing. God brought this into our lives and delayed it because he knew we weren't ready.
Yep. So guys, we wanted to tell you about that. Obviously, Jim and I talked about it this week, and I know Silver and Kirk did as well. But we're working. So what we've done is we backed up, as I started to explain. So we were out, working on the email server to get ready to come out with the fight, the first thing, because you got to remember something. The way this is going to go down, guys, is the interaction you have with a live sport. That's what makes this a little bit different. So, each round would finish, you would have your say. In other words, you're going to go and do your next pick. So when you went and done your next pick, is he going to get knocked out? Is Mike Tyson going to bite his ear? Whatever the questions would be, you're going to receive an email if you got points. So you may not want to get 1,000 emails in a day because you're participating in a basketball game, a cricket game, a soccer game. So the email server was something that we had to build and put together to make it easier on you guys. Otherwise, you're just going to get bombarded with emails. So that way you can pick it. You'll be able to go into the email server and say, notify me once a day at 2:00 or once a day in the evening, or every 10 times I get points. So guys, it's all about points. Okay. And talking about that, Jim, one of the things what I've noticed, there's been a tremendous slowdown in signing up. I don't know if these people are getting this. If you're not signing somebody up each day, you are financially hurting yourself for the future. If you don't sign up somebody each day, there's no cost to sign anybody up in this program. And I was looking at some code yesterday, and I see some people haven't signed anybody up since back when we first opened in January 27. They signed up a few people that first week, and they haven't signed up. Guys, I don't know if you're really grasping this concept. Every one of them people you sign up under you, and anyone they sign up under you, you're getting points. Think of it as cash, because one day it could be money. Jim and I had this discussion a couple of weeks ago in reference to nonprofit. We will eventually get to a stage where a point will have a value to it. Right, Jim? Do you remember that conversation?
I do, yes.
So there's no reason down the road that we couldn't flip the switch, subject to obviously approvals from people, attorneys, Paul, investors, things like that. But there's no reason that we couldn't do that. So every day you're not getting somebody signed up, guys, you're actually hurting your future. Whether it's points to get more food baskets, or whether it's points that down the road could end up being in a cash form, maybe 10 points for a dollar. Who knows? We don't know what that will be. But every day you're not signing somebody up. It's a free program. The videos are out there. They sign up. It's very simple information right now, and they should be getting on calls. In fact, guys, we got the 2 calls each week. And after this week, we will be pulling the 11 o'clock call for Kelly. So we have a call on Tuesday at 11 p.m. New York time, guys. Kelly does that presentation. This next Tuesday will be the last call. She is so incredible. She'll do it to absolutely nobody. She'll do the presentation to nobody. However, there were only 3 or 4 people on the call this last Wednesday. The same 3 or 4 people on the call the Wednesday before. There are no new people on the call. Therefore, this week, if it's not changed and got more people on there, I've said to Kelly, let's just cancel the call. It's not hurting us as a company, guys. It's only hurting you guys as individuals that are not bringing somebody on the company to get them to sign up. Jim will continue doing his for the remainder of the month. And if we don't get an abundance of non-profits or new people signing up, we will pull the calls completely, and there'll be one update call once a week, which will be on a Saturday. So guys, it's up to you. If you want us to support you by doing the presentations, we're happy to do that. But your part is to bring somebody to the call. Your part is to sign somebody up. And again, it's not to help us, is to help you financially, because the more people you have, the more points you get, the more product you get, so on and so on. Jim, is there anything you want to add to any of that?
Yeah, I do. They're missing the boat if they're not, and I see a lot of names on here that I don't normally see on my Wednesday call. And maybe they don't realize how important this is to nonprofit organizations and what it means to them and what it can mean to the individuals who sign them up, because as you sign up a nonprofit, they're going to get it out to all their people, and they become part of your group, and you're going to get points whenever they do anything. I mean, it's a pretty amazing deal. I do have my PowerPoint here. If you want me to show what we can do for nonprofits, I can take a couple of minutes and show them that.
No, I wouldn't do it today, Jim. I'd do it on Wednesday and let everybody know that Wednesday. Right. Guys, if you're unable, we understand Wednesday at 2 p.m. is perhaps not the chosen time for everybody. But you can go back and watch that video at any time. But basically what Jim's saying is you have somebody, and tomorrow, most of you, or today, should be at church. How many of you talk to your pastors about this? I mean, this is what church is about, is to spread the word of God, doing his work, and obviously helping people out. Well, this is a program that if you bring in a church or a group or a non-profit organization, they sign up to you. And then when they sign up all their people to support them, they're going to be in your winning line. That means you're going to get points from them. So guys, it's down to you if you want to make that change. I've told many people in private meetings, as well as in public meetings, that this is better in cash. This truly is better than money. If you have enough points, you had an abundance of points every single day, you would be able to bid on everything you wanted to in that auction site. And I can assure you, in the auction site, the list is getting bigger and bigger. And there will be eventually one day in there portable homes that you can bid on, and that home will just come and get set up. So if you're in a third world country, or even in the US, and you're homeless and you want a home, you'll have an opportunity to build these points up and bid on it. You'll be able to go on flights. You'll be able to go and get groceries. So the money is either coming in a point program, or you're going to have to go out and get a job, earn the money, pay the taxes on that money, and then go out and purchase it. Well, with ours, you kind of got a double shot, because you earn the points for free. You then go and bid on something. If you lose your points, you have a chance to get them back. Not only get them back, but most probably additional points, because as of November 1st of each year, all the points lost in the auction bids will go back in and equally spread out across the company wide. So some of you are going to get thousands of points for the holidays, that you're going to be able to go out and get your Christmas shopping done, or whatever it may be. So if you're not signing somebody up at this stage now, you're going to be just one of those people getting left behind again. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to be rude. I love you all. I pray for every one of us. Okay, but I'm just saying, let's not be that other company that, if I'd have been there in the right time, if I'd have got in at the beginning, if I'd have went and done a little bit of work. And that's the problem. It's a 4-letter word. It's work. And you need to go out and get on the phone to somebody and ask them to join the call. Again, I'm not preaching at you, but you're not looking at this at what it can actually do. Every day, if you had a goal set, I'm going to sign up one person a day, you can have literally hundreds, if not thousands of people in here. Some will do something and some won't. But no matter what, once they start seeing people get groceries or get trips or whatever it may be, they will turn around and tell their friends and family, guaranteed, that if they get in something for free and it is real, then they're going to share it with their family members, which means you grow, your organization grows. So don't be like one of them other network marketing companies that go and signs people up. There's no difference when you come in on this. You can come in on day one, or you can come in on, well, there isn't a last day, but you can come in any way you want to, and you can spread the word because everybody wants to get free stuff. Jim, jump in and give any thoughts.
Yeah. If you're like me, you either get emails or phone calls or mail from nonprofit organizations all the time. Did you ever stop to think that when you get one of those, most of the time you're not going to be able to send them any money. But if you contacted those people and said, hey, I can't send you any money right now, but I can do something better. We can put you in a situation where you can get involved in an auction for free, get prizes, get whatever you need, and it's not going to cost you a dime. And then invite them to the call. You don't have to explain the program to them. We've got a video that shows our entire program, and then invite them to my call on Wednesday afternoon and have them sit and watch the call. And I spend a little more time on the nonprofits than I do on the overall program. I do have to explain the overall program because people need to get a big picture of what it's all about. But I mean, this is geared towards nonprofit. Our main goal is to help people along the way with their needs. And who is doing that better than anybody else but these nonprofit programs? So when you get something from one of them, contact them and say, hey, how would you like to be involved in an auction and get some that you can bid on things that you actually need, and it's not going to cost you anything.
I think it's not in the nonprofit where what Jim says is geared. Obviously, Jim's passion is so much for the nonprofits, which I absolutely love and adore. But guys, my passion is when I drive, like we have been in weather conditions here in Las Vegas. I'm sure people around the world don't see this, but yesterday and the day before, we broke every record history for heat that Nevada's ever seen. They report on TV, by the way, 111 degrees yesterday, but it was actually 118 when the TV went to different restaurants around town and all the thermometers outside were all saying 118. That was 118. We're used to getting hot weather, okay? We really truly are, but it's usually in August. So all of the water centers for the homeless people, they weren't open. People were going to the casinos just to get out of the heat because, again, all of the centers which open up for this heat in August weren't open. Guys, our program helps them homeless people or them suffering elderly people today. If you had points and you had your air conditioning serviced and you'd be able to stay in, or if you had points, instead of being on the streets, you could actually be going and trading them for a hotel room and bid on it immediately. So it's not like you got to wait for it. So if you bid on a hotel room for 3 nights hotel stay in Las Vegas, you go and bid and use them points, you're out of the heat. I mean, I'm just giving you an example. Jim's passion is about the nonprofit side. My passion is helping that person when you walk out of your door yesterday, you look around and there is somebody hurting. Somebody is struggling, whether they haven't got the right clothes. You can look at their shoes. You can see that they don't have new shoes or comfortable shoes. Everybody out there is hurting, and this program allows them to get them points. That's the difference with me, and it's instant. You don't have to wait for it. That's why I like it, Jim.
I mean, I would agree with that too. This was just an extra suggestion because, it's somebody who's looking for something to start with, and you've got an answer for them.
Yeah, I absolutely, I totally agree. It's for everybody. But guys, if you're not, I mean, I know a lot of people want to sit back. So let me ask you a question. Does it hurt to sign up and then sit back? That's what you got to tell some of these people, because if you don't get them, somebody else is going to get them. If you don't go out and make that first step to get that person tied up to you, they're not going to feel obligated or committed. If you're not talking to somebody about this program, it's not shame on us, it's shame on you. Okay, guys, step up, get your team built out there, because your team is what's going to generate you tens of thousands of points. And then points are going to generate in all kinds of different things. And again, we have to put a cash value to these points. Let's say an organization, let's call it a church for right now. A church wants a new roof. They send in a request to us and say, how many points is it going to take to get a new roof that we can bid on? Well, we have to come up with a point value so we can say, yes, when you get to this amount of points, 10,000 points, 20,000 points, we can afford to come out because of the eyeballs. Remember, people have got to watch videos. They watch videos, they get points. That video then turns out to be money for us because it's advertisement that then we can go out and pay for the church new roof. So, guys, it's always going to have a point value at some time. It's too early right now. Jim and I tried to come up with an idea. We've got actuary people that have looked at this in the last 3 months, and they can't come up with a point value because if we put up a new roof and somebody bid on a new roof, that church roof may be a different size than another church roof in a different country that costs a different valuation because of a permit or whatever. So we've agreed that we will need to come up with a point value, which also means you guys will be able to sell your points to other members. You won't be able to sell them points out to any other somebody outside. They have to be an existing member. So there's a lot of things that you guys are going to learn as this program rolls out. And guys, it could easily be a year before you start getting this program to where it's really, really comfortable. It doesn't matter if it's a year down the road, okay, to get everything sorted out. What is it costing you? It's not costing you nothing. The only thing it's costing you if you're not signing people up. So let me go back to the dates we have here that we still are sticking with, because I don't want all of you thinking we're going to be a year down the road. So what we've got set up right now is, obviously, with this blessing of the fight being extended, that's taken the pressure off us completely. So what we've done is we've dropped back on starting our code with the NFL. Okay, the reason we're doing the NFL, I know that there's a lot of people on this call that really don't care about American football. I got it. I understand it. I'm English. I was raised on soccer and rugby. I got it completely, guys. However, in this country, NFL is something that is talked about every day of the week, and starting from August onwards, it becomes a very highly passion for people to enjoy. Whether it's college, I mean, there's college kids, 100,000 people go to these stadiums, bigger than stadiums for soccer, and it's only for a period of time. Whether it's going to be for an 8-week or 10-week, depending which division they're in, or whether it's going to be 17 weeks for the NFL. So, guys, the NFL and football, American football, is our number one focus. And that rolls out in August is in what they call pre-games. And what happens is in September the 9th, I think it is, Jim, right? The first game, typically around September the 9th.
Yeah, it's beginning of September.
Yeah. So, guys, we have this time frame that we've got to roll this out, which has helped us get the intellectual property code completed for the NFL game, that then we can then file that with Jim, the attorney, that then can get that filed. So thanks to God, or thank you, Mr. Tyson, for getting an ulcer and that fight being put back. What it's done is extended our time, allowing us to do it. So God's done an amazing job for us, and we appreciate it. Then directly after that, guys, obviously we want to move forward into Europe. Well, we know when the soccer season starts, that starts for the winter. But in the meantime, you got cricket and you got tennis. So cricket and tennis are the next two that we're working on with the code, followed with soccer. So it'll be NFL, basically US driven, which is also around the world. Cricket and tennis, which is Europe and obviously India. And I'm not sure how much cricket and tennis gets played in Africa. I'm not 100% sure. But then followed with soccer, which obviously everybody has it. So that is the rollout with the intellectual properties that we're trying to get done. And the goal is to get all of those done by September 1st when we launch. If we can have all them done, it means we have to have them tested as well. So we will be opening up for testing as soon as we've got things done, but we're just not willing to share to the world what we've got without having interaction. For example, some of the things we've been talking about this week, guys, is when you play on a game, there's going to be a chat box on the side. So as you're watching the game live, Jim might say something. Well, I'll be able to pick this character up and drop it on Jim's face. So when he talks, it's going to be a character instead of Jim. So we're playing with all these interactive things, ideas and concepts to keep engagement in the game. So while you're watching live football, instead of me looking at the screen, I see the real game going on. On the side, Jim's saying, you didn't get your first down. But instead of Jim's face there, I've got this character of whoever it is. So there's lots of little things we're doing that we are, we got to put in play, make sure it works, write the code for it, and then have that code go as intellectual property to make us unique. So, guys, it's not a simple thing, just so you guys are aware of what we're doing. But, again, thanks for another blessing. This week has been good. Now, Paul, guys, has been interactive with me all week. He wasn't able to get on the call today. He does plan to get on the call soon. He is working still with all the terms and conditions. And as I said last week, we're moving forward with the website. Now, I started on some of the website text. I know Sylvia's already done it once. I started doing some rewrite on that this week. We do anticipate to have it up quickly once we get the green light, because what we want to do is bring the site up so everybody knows that it is protected. In other words, instead of saying patent across the top with a patent number, it's going to say intellectual property protected, so everybody's aware of it. So there's another reason why the site's down. But it doesn't stop you going to your registration link, your QR code, having people signed up. That doesn't stop you doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions, Jim, unless there's anything else you have for us right now. One of the things, Jim, there was a letter that we asked put together for the nonprofits. I know you originally sent that. Then I said, did you share it with? I think it was Sylvia. Have you approved that to go out for the nonprofits letter, or are you waiting for me to review it and approve it?
Still waiting on a review.
Okay. I tell you what I'll do. I am slammed, as you know. If you're comfortable with that letter, you and Sylvie, why don't you get that out first part of the week to people so they can get people onto your calls? If you're comfortable with it, I will quickly read it, Monday morning on our meeting or something. But if not, let's get it out this week, see if that can help get people on the call.
All right.
Okay, cool. All right. What questions do we have from anybody? Guys, it's your time to talk. Speak up. Let us know what you want to know. We'll answer it to the best of our ability. Sylv, we got any questions out there, honey?
Yes, you have responded to the first question concerning the letter, and we have another question from Michael.
Oh, you had a question about the letter?
Yes, it's still Eric who asked the question some weeks ago.
Oh, okay, great. Well, whoever it was to ask weeks ago, thank you very much. And thank you for asking the question today. It's been on our list to do. Guys, you have to understand at one time we had this huge crew. We had over 60 technology engineers. And in a deal like this, you can't put all these engineers into one room to build a game. It's kind of one and then a maximum of two who can do different things. So we're limited. You just can't put this many cooks in a kitchen to cook. So we're limited on the amount of people we can put in for each project. Then you have to have a UI person, which is designing the look and the touch, and then a project manager. So we're kind of limited to 4 people on each game project. That's why this is taking longer to do. Some stuff you can, like building a platform, you can have one person do this particular part of the platform, one do this, you put it onto GitHub, you bring it all together on staging. This is a little bit different, guys. That's why it's taking longer with the interaction. So forgive us for the time we do it, but we will get the letter sorted out for you. The worst scenario is on Monday, I will announce on the 11 o'clock call where we're at on that. Even though that 11 o'clock call Monday is about Avazu, I will give you guys an update on that letter. But hopefully Jim and Sylvie can get that done on Monday morning. Right, next question. Oh, don't forget, you get points for being on calls, guys. Points today, points. And today's keyword is going to be Jim Wagner. It's right on the screen, Jim Wagner. So you know you was on the call with him today. So
how do you spell that?
Well, it's right there. If they can't figure that one out with your name right there. But if you can't figure out how to spell it, just call him Pastor Jim. That'll work. All right. So, guys, that's what there's a form you're going to be able to put in. You get points for today. You get points for coming on Tuesday night. You get points for Wednesday. Remember, the points are only available until the end of this month. Whether we extend that or not, I'm not sure if that would happen. But every one of those points is between whether you lose the bid or win the bid. All right, Sylvie, what other questions do we have?
It's from Michael. Will there be an email with a link for people to go to the meetings?
We will begin emails again, but what's going to happen, Michael, you'll be able to go in there. So you'll be able to say 11 o'clock tick box. So that means the tick box at 11 o'clock, it will send you an email 1 hour before or whatever the time is you choose. So you'll be able to set the timing when you get a reminder. If you don't want to be on that 11 o'clock because you know it's too late in the evening for you to attend the call, then you just leave that box open. Then you would click on the other ones you want to do. So our whole email server that we build is unique. It's actually going to be a white label. If you understand what that is, we're going to be able to sell that product to other companies that need something like this. This is why we spent the time putting it together. But it's very unique, but it's to do with, your preferences, what you want to do. But yes, you'll be able to go on and pick when you do the emails and when you don't do the emails. Next question.
It's still from Michael.
Okay.
It says, what about baseball, known as our national pastime? In October and November, college basket starts.
Right. So I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody on the call. Okay. I do not. So please do not take this to heart. Anybody, especially you, Michael. I know you're from New York. You're a thick-skinned character, but you said it's your national sport. Absolutely. But we're not an American company. We're a British company, and the worldwide national sport is soccer. So really in focus, soccer has to come out first because it is played in more countries than baseball. I got what you're saying. Again, please forgive me. I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody, but baseball is not played in every country around the world where soccer is played in every country around the world. So that's why we're going to do NFL, get everything working, testing, open up with the cricket and the tennis, because that's also a sport that's played in worldwide countries. And then we'll go to the soccer. Then we'll come back, do the NBA, basketball, we'll do the NHL, the hockey, etc. All of those will roll out. I was only just giving you the first four, so you know. But again, not to be disrespectful, guys, some of you got your own games. We got some people wanting us to come out with ping pong from the Philippines because it's a big sport out there. That's not a priority to us yet. The priority is to get out the big sports around the world and sports that can perhaps play more than just a season. Like soccer, you got the Summer League, you got the Winter League, so on and so on. All right, next question.
That's all for questions, Steve.
Really? Okay. Well, guys, first of all, Sylvie, thank you for everything like you do every week. The word for today, obviously, is Jim Wagner, and it is spelled Jim Wagner, W-A-G. What's the word? Wagner, N-E-R. Guys, I'm joking, it's right there. So please put that in so you get your points for today. But guys, seriously, don't. If you're not signing somebody up every week, whatever you do, don't ever get on a call and say, I didn't win something in that auction, because there is nobody to blame, only you. Okay, that's it. So please don't go and point fingers to people down the road. If you're not signing people up right now, look, it's your email, it's a name. If they don't even trust the program or the company, they're not giving up any information. Just have them sign up, watch the video, let them get in, because as this opens up and gets bigger and bigger, these people are going to have to fall under you to get them an abundance of points. And that's what you want, is the points. All right, guys, I'm done. Jim, you want anything to say to anybody before we close?
No, I'm good.
And we have the last question that just arrived. When can I start playing the game?
I'm looking to see who asked the question. Who asked the question?
It's Henry Nabutu.
So, Henry, get on the call from the beginning. So go back, because you must have missed it, and watch the presentation. That's why we have set times for the call. That was all covered at the beginning of the call when the games are going to roll out. So, but thank you for asking the question. Go back and watch the video from the rerun, and you'll have all your answers. All right, guys, I want to thank you all for everything, for attending. I appreciate it. Be blessed over the weekend. If you're in any country that's got any disasters or heat or anything go down, please be careful. Because it's certainly rough. I think we've had 12 deaths already reported from this heat going on right now. There's typhoons going on out in the Philippines. There's tornadoes touching down. A lot of people are getting hurt. So blessings and prayers to all of you. Thank you for joining the call, Jim. Special thanks for you today. Don't forget, 11 o'clock on Monday is an update call. Then you got Tuesday will be the last call if people don't attend the call on Tuesday night with Kelly. Then it'll be 2 p.m. on Wednesday, and I'll be back next Saturday. Thanks, guys. God bless to all of you. Thank you. Have a great weekend. God bless.